everybody, another night, another movie, and this would be the face of a very happy geek because on this 100th instalment in this series I got to watch 1963's The Great Escape, starring Steve McQueen, Richard Attenborough, James Garner and Charles Bronson. And without question, this is easily one of my all-time favourite movies. I've said it before and I will proudly say it again. I even have the movie poster up on my wall. And you know what? Before you get to the plot, before you even get to the amazing theme tune, let's look at the cast in this. You've got Donald Pleasence, James Coburn, James Donald, Hans Mesmer, David McCallum, Gordon Jackson, Angus Lennie, John Layton. I mean, oh my god, this is an amazing lineup. And even though this movie is 2 hours and 45 minutes long, it doesn't feel like it. And I looked at the time out of curiosity at like the 2 hour mark and I could not believe that much time had passed. Which is silly because I have seen this movie so many times over the years. I've grown up with this movie. It's a staple on like British television during Easter and Christmas holidays. I know this movie backwards and forwards, and yet, like I say, come 2 hours, I was not remotely bored. So for those who don't know, for whatever reason, it's based on the true story of a POW camp for captured members of British and American officers of the Army, Navy, Royal Air Force. And it's run by this Commandant von Luger, played by Hans Mesmer. And basically it's this new camp where von Luger really wants to do nothing more than just see out the end of the war there. He doesn't want anybody trying to escape. But of course, all the members of the RAF and that, they've sworn to, should they be captured, to make sure that they try to escape or at least cause the Nazis as much trouble as possible while trying to recapture people. So this group, headed by Richard Attenborough's Bartlett and his kind of second in command, MacDonald, played by Gordon Jackson, and their kind of superior, played by James Donald. They plan not only escape, but the biggest, most insane escape that they've ever tried. Oh no, they're not talking about 1 or 2 people. They're not even talking about a dozen people. They're talking about getting 250 people out of this camp. So they work on tunnels, there's all the planning and stuff. They work on 3 tunnels so that should one stop production, they can move on to the next one, you know, should one of them be found by the guards. And it's basically watching them as they live their lives over like the course of a year. And a couple of them, like Steve McQueen's Hilts and Angus Lennie's Ives, you know, make the occasional escape attempt. And you watch as it all comes together, and then basically the end product when they try to attempt, they try to escape, and only 76 of the people get out due to a complete blunder by a total idiot that didn't have any patience. And then you watch as those 76 kind of try to escape, get beyond the German borders. So, yeah, this is a fine, intricate movie in that you get to see, it's not just your simple, oh, they're digging a hole and that's it. It's something that, you don't really think of when you see some of these other war movies, is how much, the needing to forge the papers, making sure they've got the right date on them, how they deal with making clothes, civilian clothes, out of their uniforms with the bare minimum of kind of resources. Even when you've got like the Scrounger played by James Garner going around and getting material and stuff from places. When you see, it's so well known in like pop culture now, the whole scene of them getting rid of the soil from pouches in their trousers, which David McCallum's Ashley Pitt organises. You got all those little things that you would not normally think about. I mean, even when you see but not only all that, you also see how the trauma of long-term capture and dozens upon dozens of failed attempts at escape have affected the psyche of some of these people, like say Ives, who you see him slowly just getting more and more depressed with each capture. And he gets to this point that during this Independence Day little bash that the Free Americans there run, when the first tunnel is discovered, he just loses it and he just goes straight for the wire and he's killed. And you just feel so bad for him. And it's so, although it's not bloody, we're not talking about loads of blood squibs and stuff like that, just that image of him hanging on the barbed wire really disturbed me as a kid, and even to this day is still very, very moving and profound. You see Danny played excellently by Charles Bronson. You see, because he's claustrophobic, and it's interesting because apparently Charles Bronson in real life worked in coal mines and became claustrophobic as a result. So he was able to feed some of that into his character, and you feel it, that he gets to this desperation of, I've been in this tunnel for ages, I'm shit scared of the dark and stuff like that, and you see that affecting these people. And I love that kind of character development. Like I say, really, my only real problem with this movie would be James Coburn's awful Australian accent. I'm kind of sad they couldn't get maybe a British actor that might have been able to do the accent a little better. But that's not to put down James Coburn's acting. He's excellent in this. But there's just so many elements that I enjoy about this movie, and I'm sorry to absolutely gush over it. But like I say, oh my god, just the driving theme is, every time it plays, I just get a chill. You've got Steve McQueen showing his motorcycle skills. And I like the fact that he did some of his own kind of stunts. He wasn't able to do the infamous jumping over attempt to jump over the border stunt, but apparently he did actually try, attempt it, but crash, so they had to get a stunt guy in. I'm kind of sad that his ego kind of made him go, I want more of a role in this, but at the same time I really enjoy Hiltz. He's a really good character. What more can I say about this movie? It is just, I've seen, as I've said before, I love war movies, and there are a lot of really good ones from around this time, because obviously it's only, you know, just coming up to 20 years after the Second World War ended. And you know, some of those we'll get to, some of those I don't have, like Battle of Britain, etc. But I just, seriously, there's so much about this I want to talk about, and I just, at the moment, my mind is going about a million miles a second, because there's just so much about it that I want to talk about, but at the same time I want you to experience it if you haven't already. It's just got good action scenes, but it doesn't have to resort to swearing, it doesn't have to resort to gory violence and that. It's what's inferred, and just there's this tenseness, and it's just a good war movie. If you have no patience, if you don't like long movies, this won't work for you. But at the same time, personally, and it could just be that I enjoy it so much, but like I say, I did not notice the time go by. But yeah, no, please, if you like war movies, if you like Second World War movies, if you like Steve McQueen movies, or any of the other people in this, especially like Charles Bronson and that, it's funny for me seeing, I grew up knowing David McCallum from this, and of course then Man from U.N.C.L.E., and now he's in NCIS as Lovable Ducky, so it's really weird for me to look back on this movie. Now I'm used to seeing him as Ducky, but just, yeah, please do. If you're after a good war movie, or just really a good afternoon movie, and if you've got the time to kill, please. My only complaint as well would actually be about this particular DVD release, because their attempt to change the aspect ratio to 16:9 is painful. And we're not talking just like letterboxing, where you have the black blocks at the top and the bottom. They've kind of shrunk it in, so you have black blocks at the sides as well. So essentially I have this tiny picture framed by blackness, and when I'm watching it on a big screen, I shouldn't have to look at that stuff. So please, don't get this particular release. Find a better one. But please do. I mean, it's only parental guidance, it's only PG rated. So if you do get the chance, please check out 1963's The Great Escape. Sorry. That was tonight's movie. Like I say, as always, thank you so much for your support. I never thought I would have gotten to the 100th one. You know, we've got many more to go. Not sure how long if I'll be able to continue as consistently as I've been doing, even through computer problem times. But thanks to you and your support, I will keep going for as long as I can. Please leave your comments. Please share what your favourite war movies are. But for now though, this is Sketch saying thanks as always, look forward to seeing you down the line, and signing out.